your brain wired a little bit differently? Or maybe you love someone who is neurodiverse. Today, I'm going to be sharing with you some ideas that are going to make your life so much easier by organizing and decluttering that is just right for your brain. My first tip is probably the most important, and that is to have a look at what in your routine is where the wheels are falling off. Now, please hear me loud and clear. We are looking for where your organizing solutions are letting you down. This is definitely not about anything you are doing wrong. But by having a look, if you've ended up late for something, if you feel like you're not as productive as you would like to be, or if you are in my case, it is about getting those kids off to school as smoothly as possible, looking at those roadblocks that come up. Is something stored in the wrong place? Is there something that is always going missing? Is there something that you can never seem to overcome? And how can you work backwards from that? Looking at where it's falling over will help let you know what's not currently working in your solutions, and then you can try something new. Doesn't matter if it takes you 10 tries, at least if you know where things are going wrong, you can work out a new way to make it go right. One of the best things I ever did was putting all of our fidget toys in one central location. The reason this works so well is that if I have a kid who is slightly unraveling and I can see that they need a little bit of time out, I know exactly where I can either send them or I can go and grab the box for them. It also makes it super easy for them to pick out something to take to school. But this also works perfectly for whatever is your anxiety reliever. So whether it is putting all of your drawing supplies in one central location, or perhaps a knitting basket that you know exactly where you can go to. If you can make this mobile, that is another great tip. That way, if you need to be in your bedroom away from some other distractions, or if you need to take it on the road with you, it is simple and easy to do. A pro tip from me, especially if you are out there living on your own, is to let somebody else know about this basket or anxiety reliever for you. That way, if you are under a lot of stress or feeling overwhelmed, when you call someone or let somebody know that you're not coping, they can remind you that you have this exact box for this time, and that will help you to relax in the moment. This is a big one because it is so tempting to go out and buy all of those amazing storage solutions that should work for absolutely everyone. But one thing that I come back, whether you are neurodiverse or not, is to make sure that you are decluttering, that you are moving items into the correct position before you buy any new sort of storage or organization systems. The reason that this is sometimes in our brain something is going to work a certain way, but when we actually move it there, it can be quite different. And you might find that you don't need to buy anything at all, or what you were initially thinking may not be the best possible item. This also really helps if you get overwhelmed at stores, that you can go in knowing exactly what you need to buy and exactly how many, and you don't have to worry about trying to find the best thing because you'll know before you even go exactly what you need. One thing that I have found with my clients and with my kids that works really well are what I like to call magnetic homes. Now, they're not real magnets necessarily, but they are things like trays and hooks that are like magnets to draw those items back home. Now, this works really well for two reasons. One, it helps you to remember where you've left something. It also helps you to place it somewhere that is specific for that thing rather than just leaving everything out on a bench. The other reason it works so well is you can also use it as a reminder to do a group of things together. So for example, if you've got all of your personal care items in one central location, on one tray, in one box, that when you go there, you can see exactly what it is and you can move through that routine because everything is right there in front of you. Think about lights is my next tip. Now, I like to say that people who are neurodiverse need to kind of be the Goldilocks of lighting. So what I mean by that is too much lighting is super overwhelming. Not enough lighting, seriously, super overwhelming. Too dark. So what we need to find is a really good balance that works for you. Some of the things that I would suggest are using lamps, or if you're ready to go to the next level, even better, are smart lights. The reason that these things work so much better than your traditional lights is, one, you can dim them so that they're not so bright. You can also use them strategically where you need more light and where you need less light. If you're using smart lights, you can have them to turn off for you so you don't have to remember to keep turning all those lights off. Now, this tip is a big one and probably one of the hardest to wrap your head around, finding the right balance. And that is the balance between managing really good visual organizing and not feeling too visually overwhelmed. So some of the things that you can do to make this a little bit easier is to, when you're visually organizing, is just keep the things out that you're actually using. So moving books or art supplies away that you're not currently using, but having all the things out that you are in the middle of a project for. Another way that you can really simply do this is by using some clear containers to store whatever you need to store, whether it's clothes or art supplies or work essentials, but you can put them inside a closet. That way, when you need it, you can open that closet up and be able to see everything. But if you're having a moment of overwhelm, it's as simple as closing the door and it's all gone away. My last tip, if you are decluttering, is super simple, but let me tell you, it's a game changer. And that is sit down when you're decluttering. This will make sure that you are staying in one place. It helps you to make decisions exactly where you are, and it will stop you from getting sidetracked. You can also just sort by yes or no. Do I want to keep it? Do I want to let it go? Worry about what's going to the donations and what's going into the trash later. Worry about where it's going to live after you've made these decisions. But by sitting down and reducing the amount of decisions you make, you'll find that you'll become way more productive when you declutter. It will make it way less overwhelming and you'll get through a lot of spaces in a short period of time.